guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are making a banana cake in the microwave. So we get right into it. First you grease your baking tray. In this case I'm using a microwave friendly bowl. You can use oil. I'm using oil in this case. You can use oil, butter, Blue Band, whatever works for you. Then you add some flour to dust it. Ensure that every part of the bowl is covered as I'm doing right here. And yeah, it should look something like this. Here you go. Now to the wet ingredients. Of course it's a banana cake, so you'll use a banana. I'm using one banana, so you'll peel off one banana and chop it into your blender. I'm using a grinder. You chop that into the blender. Chop, 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 chop. And you know, baking can be a little messy, so it's a good practice to clean as you go. So as you prepare your ingredients, make sure you clean off as you go. Next, you are going to add oil. That's about a quarter or slightly less than a quarter of a cup. I used the measuring reed from the cooking oil, followed by sugar, 3 tablespoons, or at least 2.5. You know the banana is sweet, so you don't want to put a lot so that it won't be like so sweet, like excessively sweet. So 2.5 is good to go. Next you'll go with the vanilla essence. This is me about to put dark soy sauce. The color is the same, so in my mind I was like, yeah, this is it, until I opened it and I was like, no. Now back to the vanilla essence. So there you go with 1.5 quarter-ish of vanilla essence. You can use a spoon to measure that. Then still on the wet ingredients, you'll go next with milk. You should use a measuring cup, but at this point I'm using the voice of my ancestors and it's still fine, but it's recommended that you should use a cup. And then we'll take that to blend them. Now to the dry ingredients. That's 1 cup of flour, then followed up by baking powder. 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder is enough. Then that will be followed by salt, just a pinch of salt, not to make the cake bitter but to bring out the sweetness of the salt and bananas. You mix before adding in the wet ingredients. You pour the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients and mix. Like we say, don't overmix, just mix it until everything is well incorporated. Like you can't see any flour, just mix. It will be a thick paste, not a runny one. And when it's just thick enough and you can't see any flour, that's enough to go into the microwave. Here we transfer the batter into our the bowl that we had greased earlier. We transfer and make sure you transfer everything. We are Africans, we don't leave even the slightest bit. You transfer it into the bowl and that will be ready to go in the microwave for baking. just sprinkling some sugar on top of the batter. It's an optional part, but I really find it okay, sprinkling the sugar, because it makes the cake crunchy and a bit sweeter at the top, which I find it right for my cakes. This is how the batter looks right before we take it to the microwave to bake it. Remember, it's a microwave banana cake. So in it goes to the microwave, and then you'll set the timer. Around 6-7 minutes later, our cake is ready. You insert a skewer or a toothpick. If it comes out clean, the cake is ready. Yeah, as you can see, my cake is ready. I'm trying to get it out, that I remembered, yeah, I should let it cool down. So I'd leave it there and give it some time to cool before we can cut it. Now that the cake has completely cooled off, I'm doing that to ensure it doesn't stick to the bottom, and we'll put it on our plate to see the outcome. And as you can see, it looks lovely. Nothing's got stuck at the bottom. And yeah, when it's cool, it's easier to cut as opposed to when it's still hot. Yeah, that's me cutting and seeing the beauty. Look at it. It looks good. And now to a slice. Yes, you can see the cake is fluffy, it's spongy. Yeah, and on to our taste tests.